And good afternoon, everybody. This is Vinny Millennial Law, the strongest name in law. The date now is February 21st, 2022. It is a Monday. It is beautiful down here in Savannah, Georgia. Not too bad. Looks like the sun went out. It looks like the sun went away. It was out all morning. Now it's kind of like a little hit with clouds. Not a big deal, but hence the tank top because it is warm and nice down here. All right, so let's get down to it. So first and foremost, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. Go to the website www.millenniallaw.com, www.millenniallaw.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Always be in the know. Make sure you go down. You click that subscribe button. Don't mind the whimpering. Flex is sleeping behind me, and he seems to be having a nightmare. I'm not particularly sure where that's coming from. So if you do happen to hear whimpering or heavy breathing followed by growling and some nonsense, I'm not sure. He seems to be having a very vivid and exciting dream. I did watch this on Behavior Explained, and they did mention humans. They didn't mention pets. This would be a great documentary, by the way, if there was one. All right, so let's get down to it. So, all right, again, make sure you go to the website, make sure you sign up to the newsletter, make sure you sign up on YouTube channel, you subscribe, got interesting content all the time. All right, let's get down to it. So today's question is labeling your products with a Made in USA label. So you wouldn't think that this was such an issue, but apparently it's a really big issue. So this is regulated by the FTC. So, you make a product, right? You make these pens and you want to label on the, and you're a proud American and you want to have Made in USA on the pen. No problem. Certainly you're allowed to do that in this world. It's a free country. You can market, well, last I checked, at least for the next few years, it's free. You could be able to market however you like. Just, this is something that's regulated by the FTC. The FTC will determine the veracity of your claim that the product is made in the USA. So be aware of the rules, right? So first and foremost, this is something that the FTC regulates under their statutory guidance. I think it's 15. I looked it up. I think it's like 15 USC 45. USC stands for United States Code. So it's Article 15, United States Code, Section 45. That's where the FTC gets their authorization from to regulate unfair or deceptive trade practices. That is considered, saying that your product is made in the USA could be considered a deceptive trade practice if it's not done properly, or if the truth of claim it doesn't pan out, the veracity claim is an issue, right? So, understand the rules. It's been a very long time since this has been updated and modified. So your rules do come from 1998 and 1997, 1998 in particular. One document is known as the FTC Enforcement Statement, which is the enforcement policy statement on U.S. origin claims, December 1997. The second one is a compliance guide that was submitted by the FTC. It's called Complying with the Made in USA Standard in December 1998. You can find all these on Google. It's right, they link directly to the FTC's website. So it's not your typical search on Google, get filled with lies and nonsense. It goes right to the FTC's website, and they did deliver guidance on this. And they did do, it's been published, and really nothing's changed for what's that, 30 years now? 30, almost 40 years. So, and really nothing's changed. All right, so what constitutes a Made in USA claim, right? So let's understand there's two parts, right? There's express Made in USA claims and implied Made in USA claims. So express and implied. Express is obviously what it is what it is. It's you specifically stay in an affirmative statement, manufactured in USA, made in USA, American made, proudly made in USA, American quality, proudly built in these 50 states. Some claim where you say this is made, or it comes from the United States in some way, shape, or form. And then you have another thing called implied Made in USA claims. Now, the implied Made in USA claims, that's where you have the American flags all over the place, the American maps all over the place on, let's say you have a t-shirt brand, right? And then you have an American flag on it, and on the bottom it says Brooklyn, USA, Brooklyn, New York, or it says Savannah, Georgia, or it says anything, right? Merritt Island, Florida. Whatever it says, that could be construed as an implied Made in USA claim, because you're showing the American flag and you're coupling it with something else that suggests that this is a USA origin and based product. So that's an implied Made in USA claim. So now you have this between express and implied. Obviously, express is obviously going to be a little more easier for them to enforce on you. Now you have what's known as unqualified made in USA claims and qualified made in USA claims. So there's a difference, and this is the difference in degree. So unqualified made in USA claim, it's just very easy to understand. Basically, you're just broadly saying here that this product is American made. So I have this pen. This pen is made in China. It is assembled in China. It gets shipped from China. The only thing that has to do with the USA with this pen is the fact that I get it at the border. I send it to my distributor, and we distribute it out, right? So something like that is, if you say made in USA, that's an unqualified claim, because basically almost every single thing about it is not correct, it's untrue, and it's not made in USA in any way, shape, or form. You're just broadly stating something, and the FTC is going to review it. If the FTC reviews, if they come across an issue, they review it. They use what's known as the all or virtually all standard, meaning that 90% of this product must be made in the USA, sourced in the USA, manufactured in the USA. 90% of this product must be related to the United States. Otherwise, you're out, okay? You gotta take the label off. You can get hit with a fine. I didn't look up what the fines were. I imagine they're not gigantic, but I also imagine that the government's looking for money. So they're more than happy to fine you. Now, the kind of like the more gray area is the qualified made in USA claims, which people are allowed to make qualified claims. It's just, you have to be able to demonstrate the truth of it, right? So if I say this pen and I say 50% made in the USA, that's a qualified claim, because what if 50% is made in the USA? What if the products that go into this pen are overseas, and there's 4 products, and then I add 2 more products here, plus I do the assembly, plus I do the packaging, branding, labeling, and distribution on our side. So technically that's the correct claim. So technically, if I say 60% or 70, if I say 50% made in the USA, or at least 60% made in the USA, something to that effect, technically that's a qualified claim. That's okay. I mean, you see other ones as well. You see, so for instance, you'll see furniture that says like assembled in the USA, or you'll see manufactured in the USA but with imported fabric, imported leather. I don't know, I keep thinking of my pillow guy with his his feathers that come from the Giza Hills or something in Africa, or whatever the case is. So technically I guess he's right? I mean, I guess he's making a qualified claim. He's not lying. At least I don't think he is. We'll see what happens, down the road. But you could certainly make qualified made in USA claims. You just have to be able to prove it. Unqualified is a lot riskier. Unqualified, they'll look at where the product was, finally assembled, the proportion of the manufacturing, of the cost of the product. They'll also look up how far down the road is the foreign content. So like in our example, we talk about, your source materials, 4 of 6 come from China and 2 come from here. Well, that's not too far of a source. It's pretty close. I mean, what if it was like, from China to Korea to Vietnam to the United States? Makes it a little more weirder, and also kind of waters down the amount that's made in the USA. So keep that in mind. So that's also something, unqualified claims are pretty much far easier for them to regulate and beat down on unqualified claims. So keep that in mind. That's something to be wary about. Like I said, qualified claims, you are allowed to make qualified claims. You just have to be able to tell the truth of them. If you don't make the truth of them, you'll run into issues. You got to be able to, you're going to have to be able to show, you have to be able to show where the domestic content came from. You're going to have to be able to show where the labeling was created, where the labeling was applied on, where it was assembled, where the parts come from, how they came into the country, where they came into the country from, what each origin of the product is. A lot of these are going to be determined and reviewed by the FTC. So keep that in mind for qualified claims. You got the best way to protect yourself from any of this stuff is always going to be with true disclosure. And true disclosure always should have kind of like the same pattern, right? It should all be clear and conspicuous, larger fonts, bolded fonts, like the key language you want to show to people. And I know, as someone that, white labels my own products, I don't like that because you take away from like the zing of the product, the excitement. Do I want my label filled with warnings? Do I want my label, filled with government statements? No, I don't, because you're not going to buy my product, because you're going to be turned off. You're going to go, wow, that's a great product. And then you're going to turn around the back and see 14,000 warnings. You know, we've had research done in the past, you know, on other matters where we've actually showed like a 98% dip in sales based on having super aggressive disclaimers and stuff like this. So, I mean, you want to, that kind of stuff, you know, there are general rules you could use that to protect yourself, but remember, um, you're always weighing your ability to sell the product versus, you know, risk mitigation, which they kind of like compete. And statistically, that's what it's shown. We've had research that shows how they compete. You know, the more you disclose in terms of risk and punishment and, you know, fines, the less someone's going to buy your product. That is especially true when you issue numbers. When you have numbers, that is especially true. So when you say this fine, you'll be subject to a $5,000 fine, you can kiss that sale goodbye. Right off the bat, you kiss that sale goodbye. It's like 99%, like when we did our research. All right, so that's about all I wanted to say for now. There is one more part of it I do actually want to touch on, which I have a note here to touch on it with you. It's the state claims. We have clients that want to do, made in California, made in Arizona, right? So we have clients that want to do this. Each state kind of handles that differently. There are certain states that have nothing on the record books, and then there's California. But then again, I feel like I say that about a lot of things. There is every other state in the country, and then there's California. California has the Made in California program. It's almost exactly like the Made in USA program, but if you switch the word USA with California, California gets to fine and sue you and enforce on you. So it's part of the California Government Code. It's, section 12098. 10, California Government Code 12098.10. This is the standard for all advertisers who want to say Made in California on there. I personally would want nothing to ever do with California. My best legal advice would be to run from your life from anything having to do with California, but some is a glutton for punishment and you still want to be in California. I don't care how big your economy is down there. Run for your life. California is a disaster and everyone wants to sue you. The government has no money, but has plenty of attorneys, trolls to sue you on. Okay, so that's my spiel. So in this video, we went through where the statutory rights come from, what the prevailing documentation is in terms of enforcement. We went through what's expressed and implied. Made in USA claim. We went through what's a qualified, unqualified Made in USA claim. We pointed out some of the risks associated with both of them, the relative ease of defending and enforcing each one of them, and then we also spoke a little bit about state-by-state programs. Generally speaking, most states, again, with the exception of California, most states do not have an actual real statute on hand. They may treat there is case law that gives them the opportunity to treat made in state similar to Made in USA. California was one of the bold states that went ahead and just said, we're doing this anyway, we might as well have our own statutory scheme and program. So obviously it is state by state thing, so keep that in mind. And that's it from here. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that certainly this answered any kind of questions that you had for your labeling issues. As you know, Millennial Law, we love labeling, we love branding, we love marketing, to the point where if I could not be in court anymore, I would not be in court and I would do nothing but legal marketing for people. So you know where we are. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever the case is, leave them in the comments below. Email me. You have my email address. Facebook, Instagram me, Twitter me. I don't know, WhatsApp me. I'm all over the place. And that's it from here. So we bid our farewell. Yours in law, love, and lifts. Always staying usually motivated, because if you're only usually motivated, you'd just be happy doing nothing. And then that's not what life is worth it all about, is it? So have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to us. Yours in law, love, and lifts. Vinny Milletti. Peace out. Strong, same law.